Hi, my name's Chris. Welcome to Font of Inspiration. Today I'll show you how to make some simple character and monster tokens for your tabletop RPG game. The examples shown in this video use the 1-inch scale because it's used widely in games like D&D, Pathfinder, that sort of thing. Naturally, you can make the tokens any size you'd like, so go nuts. First off though, I'll show you how to make the tokens in Photoshop Elements. You can get the same results with GIMP or the full version of Photoshop if you use either one of those. Now this little project was inspired by Newbie DM's tokens that use washers instead of cardstock. My problem with washers was that while they're indestructible, they're kind of heavy for a mobile GM like myself. So that's why I make mine a bit lighter and use cardstock. However, I highly recommend that you go check out Newbie DM's tutorial, especially if you GM from home. The link is available in the description. Okay, let's get right into it. First, we select the elliptical marquee tool. Make sure it's at a fixed size of 1 inch by 1 inch. Then we create a new layer. Slap that selection on that layer. Then we want to create a sort of outline for the token, and we want to make sure that the location is in the center so that we get that bleed outside of the selection also. As you can see here. Then we want to get our monster image, in this case a ferocious bugbear from 5th edition D&D. And slap that onto a new layer underneath the outline layer. Then we create yet another layer for the text. I like to label my monsters. I use the alphabet. Some people use numbers instead. I guess the alphabet comes from Final Fantasy for me, but you know, monster A, monster B, monster C, that sort of thing. I like to use white because it pops out from the background. And here we want to make sure that the text is in the middle. So center it. It's a bit high here, so I think I'll lower it just a smidge. Now to make the label or the text pop out from the background a bit more, I just add a stroke. So that creates a dark outline for the white letter. Makes it stand out a little bit more. And I think that looks okay for a 1-inch token. So now I'm just going to make a new sheet so we can add multiple monsters onto that sheet. Flatten the first bugbear. Copy it. Add it to the new sheet. Now we want the bugbear to have a friend, don't we? So we change the A into a B. Flatten the whole thing again. Copy it. And add it to the sheet. Now there's 2, yay! So you can make as many monsters as you want using this very simple technique. Now I'd like to make a 2-inch monster. Make sure the fixed size is 2 inches by 2 inches. Make our selection. Stroke the outline, this time 40 pixels. Get a picture, in this case, the scary carrion crawler. Add it. It seems to be a bit big, so I'll resize it. Add the text, making sure that it's centered again. Here I increased the font size, but your mileage may vary. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe it's fine as a smaller letter. Nice and centered. Again, a bit high, so let's lower that. Okay. Add the stroke again, make it pop out from the background. Remember to add it to the outside or you'll turn the letter black like I just did. And there we have it. Flatten the image, add it to your sheet of monsters. And now we get to the fun part of cutting them out and making them. Okay, so here we have our 2 bugbears and a carrion crawler. Now, if that doesn't sound like the beginning to a bad joke, I don't know what does. Anyway, before we start cutting them out with the hole punches, let's make it a little easier for ourselves, okay? Okay, so now we can start cutting the actual circles out. Now, for the 1-inch ones, turn our hole punch. We make sure the image is centered. So you want to make sure that there's an equal amount of black outline in all directions, right? Okay, so it's not too bad. Not great either, but you can do it better. Then we take a piece of cardstock, like this, and we make 2 holes, or we make 2 circles of the same size, which would be 1 inch. And they're just flying all over the place. Now that I've picked up our 2 pieces of cardstock, we can glue them together. So we can make one really strong piece of cardstock. And just glue one side of both pieces. Make sure it's nicely spread. And then just mash them together. And kind of jiggle them until they stick real nicely along the edges too. So there you have the base for the token. Then we glue one side. Slap on the image of the ugly bugbear. Make sure it's centered. And we're pretty much done. So that's our bugbear. If I can get it to focus, which I cannot do. Anyway, now here's a few I made earlier. There's an ochre jelly and a goblin. These have a bit more black on the outline, which I probably prefer, but you can decide on how thick of an outline you'd like to make. Usually I make the backside too to show that they're dead. So once you've killed an enemy, you just flip it over and there's a skull on the other side, but you can use whatever image you want if you want to make a backside. So that's the 1-inch token. Then the 2-inch token. Same thing, except here we have a massive hole punch. Find the center as best as you can. Just kind of eyeball it. I'm probably going to muck this up, but oh well. There we go. It's not too bad. Yeah. Anyway, Do the same thing. Two pieces of the same size. Pick them up off the floor, glue them together. Make sure you get the edges because that's the first place where it's gonna peel if it isn't glued on properly. So all the way to the edge. I feel like I'm doing some kind of kids show or Blue Peter or something. Anyway. Glue them together. Make sure the edges are stuck on. Just press it a couple of times. Get some glue on the side you want the image on. Smush it on there. And that's our carrion crawler done. The light is reflecting really badly, so can you see now? The edge got a bit, it isn't that nice, but anyway, not bad. And very easy to use, very light, and these are as thick, pretty much as thick as the tokens that come with if you have the red box, the 4th edition red box. It came with some tokens. And these are about the same thickness as them. So, not bad. And dirt cheap. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.